The Evolution of New York, a story of resilience and transformation. It begins with silence, a deep, eerie quiet, disturbed only by the lapping of waves against the wooden hulls of Dutch merchant ships. The year is 1609, and an Englishman named Henry Hudson peers through the morning mist. His ship, the Halve Man, drifts cautiously into a sprawling natural harbor, larger than anything he has ever seen. The land before him is wild, untouched, home to the Lenape people who have thrived here for centuries. Hudson believes he has found the fabled passage to Asia. He hasn't, but he has discovered the land that will one day become New York City. Fast forward a few decades, and the Dutch are building something extraordinary. They call it New Amsterdam, a trading post, a melting pot, a city of commerce. Wooden windmills turn in the breeze. Streets are bustling with merchants speaking Dutch, French, English, and a dozen other languages. Slavery is introduced early, and Wall Street, yes, that Wall Street, gets its name from the wall built to keep out rival European forces and indigenous resistance. But the Dutch reign is brief. In 1664, English warships appear on the horizon, cannons at the ready. The city surrenders without a shot fired. New Amsterdam is no more. Welcome to New York. By the 18th century, New York is a powder keg. Tensions with the British mount. The Stamp Act, taxation, cries of revolution, all of it boils over in the streets. When the Revolutionary War begins, George Washington knows the city is crucial. He fights for it, he loses it, he retreats. The British hold Manhattan for most of the war, using it as a base for their feared Hessian mercenaries. But when victory finally comes in 1783, Washington returns in triumph, leading his troops down Broadway. The last British ship sails away, marking the birth of a new nation. And New York? It is hungry for more. The 19th century arrives, and the city explodes, literally and figuratively. Immigrants flood in. Ellis Island opens its doors, and more than 12 million souls pass through, seeking a new life. They bring their languages, their traditions, their dreams. Some find opportunity. Others find hardship, crammed into the overcrowded tenements of the Lower East Side. The city builds upwards, iron and steel replacing wood and brick. The Statue of Liberty, a gift from France, rises in the harbor, torch held high, a beacon for the tired, the poor, the huddled masses. But New York is not just a city of hope. It is a city of crime, corruption, and chaos. Tammany Hall controls politics with an iron grip, a machine built on bribery and patronage. The streets of Five Points are infamous, a slum so violent that even the police hesitate to enter. Gangs rule the alleys, and a young man named William Boss Tweed rises to power, embezzling millions while the city grows around him. The 20th century is a turning point. The skyline transforms. The Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, Art Deco masterpieces pierce the clouds. The Roaring Twenties bring jazz, speakeasies, and organized crime. But then, in 1929, the unthinkable happens. The stock market crashes. Wall Street crumbles. The Great Depression grips the city. Bread lines stretch for blocks. Families lose everything. And yet somehow, New York endures. World War II brings a new energy. Factories churn out weapons. The harbor is filled with warships, and Times Square pulses with neon light and the promise of victory. Soldiers return home, and the city booms again. The 1950s and 60s bring cultural revolution. Harlem becomes a hub of black artistry and activism. The Bronx pulses with the birth of hip-hop. The city becomes the epicenter of fashion, finance, media, and power. But darkness lingers. The 1970s are brutal. Crime, blackouts, bankruptcy. New York teeters on the edge of collapse. The Son of Sam killer terrorizes the streets. Times Square, once a beacon of entertainment, decays into a haven of crime and vice. The city is dirty, dangerous, and seemingly beyond saving. And yet it does not fall. The 1980s and 90s usher in a new era. Wall Street roars back to life. Skyscrapers rise higher. Broadway shines brighter. Crime rates plummet. The city reinvents itself as it always has. But nothing could prepare it for what would come next. September 11th, 2001. The day that changed everything. 2 planes strike the Twin Towers. Fire, smoke, collapse. Thousands lost. The world watches in horror. But from the ashes, something else rises. Resilience. The people of New York stand together, refusing to be broken. The city rebuilds. One World Trade Center soars into the sky, a symbol of strength, defiance, and memory. Today, New York is as unstoppable as ever. It is the city of dreams, of reinvention, of endless motion. It has faced war, disaster, crime, and crisis. And yet it stands, the heartbeat of a nation, the pulse of the world. It is not just a place. It is an idea, a testament to human ambition, struggle, and triumph. And if history has proven anything, it is that New York will never stop being New York.